Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a short one today. I've got this finger lime that I need to get into the ground, and I am going to load it up in this wheelbarrow. I can't just grab it by the trunk and hold it, because if you notice, it is covered in thorns. So don't really feel like having thorns all in my hand. So I'm going to first of all get these weeds out of here. But I got a spot I'm going to put it. It doesn't get full sun, which citrus doesn't always need full sun. And I read up about finger limes and it said the same thing, that they don't need full sun. Partial sun would be fine. So I'm going to load it up and then I'll get it planted, and that's what we're going to do today. So give me one second. Okay, so I used my grub hoe mainly to get this. This grub hoe is really good for doing this sort of thing here, because it's so heavy that it just busts through the ground with no problem. And it may be, there's probably some people would say it'd be easier to dig this hole with a post hole digger, but I don't have one, so I use what I've got. Grub hoe works really well. Of course, use the shovel. This is a pretty big pot. I don't know, I think it may be a 5-gallon pot. So it may need to be bigger. The hole may need to be bigger than that. We'll find out. But yeah, let me just get it out and down here. Oh, just about lost it there. It's heavy, but we'll see. So there's a spot down here that doesn't have any thorns, but here's what I like to do to get them out. Put it on its side, roll it a little bit, and kind of give some pressure and loosen everything up, because you want to get as much of this dirt out with it as possible, and its roots are probably all wrapped in here anyways. So loosen it up like that, and then usually you can come in and just grab it. I don't want to just rip the roots out though, and that thing is poking me. Those thorns, man. These thorns are nasty. But let me see if I can. You can also kind of get it out like this. It doesn't look like the roots were all in there. See how some of that soil is falling out? Yeah, the roots were not all in there. So I'm gonna have to just do what I can, get it buried again quickly. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I didn't think about bringing my tripod out with me. I don't want to break these roots. Just gonna have to keep at it. Don't want to break the roots, and I don't want to snap the tree. And I don't want to ruin this pot, because that's the one nice thing about when you get trees, you get free pots with it. And then you can use them to start other things. You can never have enough pots. I can see if I can get my finger hooked in here. No, it just broke. Oh well, not bad. So there we go. There's all the roots there. So yeah, it had not gotten all in the pot yet. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine there. You don't want it to, you don't want it to be too deep, because you don't want to like bury it up to like here or something. You want to get to the top of the roots. You don't want it to be too deep. It'll suffocate it. So Now all I gotta do is just backfill and we'll be ready to go. And ow, 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 man, these thorns are amazing. They will grab you every way you try to grab this thing. So I gotta be really careful here. I just want to get enough dirt in here to get it to stand. There we go. So now I can come in and do this the easier way. And I'm actually, the soil is somewhat damp because we've had rain, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little water in there. Not much, just a little bit. You don't want to drown it out. Let that kind of sink in some. I don't want to create like a puddle just sitting in there and then bury that, because I don't want to choke the roots out. And then another thing that a lot of people recommend doing when you're planting trees is to put fertilizer in the hole. I don't recommend that, because you can burn the, you've got a tree that's, it may be a very young tree, which I'm sure this one is, but it may be a very young tree, so you don't want to burn it. And if you put fertilizer directly at its roots, there's a good chance you're going to burn it. If you want to fertilize it, plant it, backfill it like I'm doing, and then put fertilizer around the top, around the, or make a ring around the base of the tree. That way the fertilizer gets to the roots, but it has to go through the soil first, and it's not a direct hit and burn your tree. The only like if you wanted to fertilize your tree from the bottom up, then what I would recommend doing is the melon pit method, where you bury, like I would go a foot or two down below where I just planted this. Before I plant this tree, dig a hole. So you would end up digging probably about a 3 or 4 foot hole, dump a bunch of scraps, cover that up to where you had enough, like where the size hole I did to plant this tree, or the size hole that you need to plant whatever tree you're planting, and then plant your tree. I mean, because then the roots aren't in direct contact with anything, and as they grow down, they will reach that source of nutrients, and it won't burn it because it's been in the soil, so it's had some time to kind of compost down a little bit. And but yeah, don't take like granular fertilizer and just go right into the hole and plant the tree on top of it. That's a good way to burn the tree. And this is, your tree is just starting out. You don't want to burn it right away. So I also don't generally like to put stakes on my trees. I want them to strengthen themselves and hold themselves up. If the tree is leaning really bad, or if something happens to it and it starts to lean really bad, then obviously, you can stake it till it readjusts itself. But I would recommend, when you plant a tree, don't stake it. Just try to let it, you want it to strengthen itself and be able to hold itself up. And also there, I was just kind of pressing the soil down. I don't want to compact it too much. So I don't want to come in and like stomp all the way down until it's solid, hard feeling underneath my, whoops, may have lost a branch. That's okay. Solid and hard underneath my feet. But I do want to press it down a little bit to get some of the big pockets underneath the soil out. This right here is one way you can find if there are still some big pockets. When you water it, if a pocket kind of opens up, you can fill it with some soil or kind of stamp it down. And another thing too is with trees, don't think just about watering right at the base of the tree, because you want to encourage the roots to not just go right there. You want to encourage the roots to spread out as well. So you want them to go down, yes, but you want them to come out so you have this big, robust root system. So when you're fertilizing and or watering a tree, don't focus on just at the base of the tree. Focus around like a circumference around the base of the tree, so that you encourage the roots to continue to grow outward and search for the fertilizer, or search for the water. You know, you want it to do that. It makes it stronger. I mean, really, any plant, that's what you want it to do. You don't want to water you don't want to water your garden too much, because you want the plants to send their roots down looking for water. You know, if you water your plants every single day, I'm going to keep this soil and put it with my potting soil, but if you water your plants every single day, you will have very shallow root systems, and that's not good. It makes for a weak plant. So you want them to go down and search for water, and spread out and search for water and search for nutrition and stuff like that. So anytime you're fertilizing a tree, or trees especially, but any plants, but anytime you're fertilizing or watering a tree, make sure you're getting around, not just right at the base. You want to get all around the soil, all around it, so that encourages the roots to go down and spread out, and then it will be a much healthier, stronger tree. So that's all for today. It is hot. I'm sweating. It's only 8 something in the morning and it's already really hot here. But yeah, finger lime. Let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to getting some finger limes. I've never had them. But yeah, we'll see. I'll keep everyone up to date on this as well as everything else. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate anyone who subscribes and who comments and gets the conversation going. And I will be back with another video soon. Thank you very much.